Hey friends, Andy here. How you doing? Good to see you. Freelancing is great. You work how you want to work, have a flexible schedule, and get paid for your skills. What's not so great about freelancing, you might ask? Keeping track of your finances, especially your taxes. There are tons of business banking options out there, but seemingly none of them cater specifically to freelancers. A fintech company called Lili changes that by bringing freelancer-friendly banking to a phone near you. Now let's go ahead and skip to the conclusion of this video with a spoiler alert. I've already reviewed Lili in a previous video. I was a big fan of Lili then, and I still am now. In fact, I also included them in my top accounts for small businesses and side hustles, also up there. So what's changed? Well, now they have a new offering called Lili Pro, and it addresses one or two of the things I previously thought were shortcomings. So now an already great account just got even better, and I have no problem recommending them to any freelancers out there looking for a banking home. If you want more detail than that, then stick around for the rest of the video because I'll be diving into what makes Lili Pro unique, what the pros and cons are, and whether you should consider banking with them or not. Also, just a heads up, Lili did reach out to me to make this video. Since I was already a big fan of theirs, it was a no-brainer for me to look at their new account. However, even though this video is sponsored, you're getting 100% of my unbiased opinion as per usual, and I really do like their product. But before we go any further, I need to introduce my Lili. She has something very important to say. Be sure to click that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Andy really appreciates it. Thanks, Lili. Okay, on to the review. Lili was established in late 2018. Its founders believed that freelancing is the future, and they wanted a bank that provided the tools freelancers need the most. Interestingly, they believe this so strongly that you have to be a freelancer or small business owner to even sign up for Lili. It's not available for anyone else. Lili is also an online-only neobank, which essentially means that you won't find any brick-and-mortar locations anywhere. In fact, you can only sign up for and access your account through their mobile app. This is becoming more and more common as financial technology, or fintech, continues to grow in popularity. And like other neobanks, Lili isn't really a bank in the traditional sense. They handle the user experience, but it's their partner Choice Financial that keeps all of your funds safe and FDIC insured up to $250,000. Before I get into the specifics of Lili Pro, let me tell you what you get with both the basic and pro accounts. Lili charges no monthly maintenance, overdraft, transfer, return check, or minimum fees whatsoever. The only fee you might run into is for using an out-of-network ATM. In the US, this will cost you $2.50 on top of what the ATM itself charges you, and if you're traveling to another country, this fee rises to $5. Fortunately, Lili has about 38,000 in-network ATMs throughout the US, so you won't have to work too hard to find one that doesn't charge a fee at all. As freelancers, one of the hardest things about the profession is keeping track of your finances. Income is inconsistent, and it's even harder to account for taxes. This is where Lili really shines. First, every charge you make with your debit card can easily be categorized as either personal or business just by swiping the transaction to the left or right from the app. This makes it extremely easy to track your expenses later. In fact, Lili has a reporting feature built right into the app. From there, you can create statements and expense reports and even export them to Excel. But perhaps the most valuable aspect of Lili comes from its tax tools. First, the tax bucket allows you to automatically set aside a certain percentage of all your income so that when tax time comes, you're not caught completely off guard. After all, if you're a freelancer, you don't have the luxury of an employer to withhold your taxes from your paycheck. Usually you end up owing taxes rather than receiving a refund, and if you haven't kept track of what you owe, it can become a big hassle very quickly.
I declare bankruptcy!
The tax bucket essentially acts as a way to withhold those taxes and keep the funds out of your main checking balance so that when the time comes, you have it all ready to go. Some of the reports you can generate include net income and work income, which lays everything out in an easy to use format, kind of like a W-2 can do for those in more traditional jobs. Honestly, for a freelancer or small business owner, it doesn't get much easier than that, especially without paying for software like QuickBooks. The tax tools are by far my favorite part of the Lili account, but there's even more notable features. Lili also offers what they call the emergency bucket, which is a way to prepare for any unforeseen expenses. Any funds you transfer to the emergency bucket won't show up in your available balance, which means it stays out of sight and out of mind. That is, until you need it. You can also set up automatic daily transfers to your emergency bucket, making it even easier to save consistently. Like several other online banks out there, Lili can also give you your paycheck up to 2 days early. Now you might be wondering how that works exactly, since freelancers and small businesses don't usually get a paycheck in the traditional sense. Well, if you receive payments from common sites like Shopify, Cash App, or PayPal, you normally have to wait for those funds to clear, but Lili makes them available immediately, which can be very useful in certain situations. Now, one major drawback for most online banks is that since there are no physical locations, there's no way to deposit cash. Lili has partnered with Green Dot's at the register service, which allows you to deposit cash through certain retailers using just your debit card. These retailers include CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart, but while Lili doesn't charge a fee for this service, the retailer does. It will never be more than $4.95, but it's worth pointing out. Now let's talk professionally. Lili just launched Lili Pro. This takes everything that is great about their standard account and makes it even better. This is one of the rare exceptions to Lili being fee-free. To get the Pro account, you will pay a $4.95 monthly fee. Before you get upset about fees, let me tell you exactly what you get, because I think $4.95 is a bargain for the value you get with this account. First, the emergency savings account gets an upgrade. I love this feature that Lili has because I don't like stressing about having money in a slower month. Well, with the Lili Pro account, this emergency savings account now has a very competitive 1% APY. So now your money earns interest while it sits there waiting for an emergency. The next huge feature is invoices. This is one of those things I dinged Lili for in my previous video. I felt like this is a feature that should be standard in an account built for freelancers. Well, maybe they listened. Are you watching this, Lili? Hello. You can now create and send unlimited invoices through the app. The invoice creation process is very quick and easy. The next pro feature is that you will now get cashback rewards on the Visa debit card. This is something else I mentioned as a potential downside in my last video on Lili, but again, they listened and now they offer cashback rewards with the debit card. Surprisingly, this is a feature that not many business-oriented banks offer, so it's definitely worth taking advantage of. With the Pro account, you also get access to their Balance Up feature. This is their version of overdraft protection. If you overspend and overdraft your account, they will cover you up to $200 with no fees. Lastly, Lili Pro gets you higher account limits. With a basic account, your daily limits are up to $3,000 for spending, up to $500 for ATM withdrawals, and up to $500 for ACH outbound transfers. The ATM limit remains the same, but with the Pro account, your daily spending limit is up to $5,000 and your ACH outbound transfer limit is up to $2,000. All right, so as you can see, Lili has a ton of great features for your average freelancer and even more great features with their new Pro offering. Still, there are a few limitations you should be aware of. If you ever find yourself needing to deposit a check, Lili does have that feature, but in order to access it, you'll need to transfer in or receive a minimum of $200 within the calendar year, and your account must be at least 30 days old. Check deposits are also capped at $2,000 per check and $6,000 per month for the basic account, and $2,500 per check and $6,000 per month for the Pro account. Fortunately, hitting those requirements should be super easy for just about everyone, and the check limits are pretty standard among other banking institutions. Still, if you need to deposit physical checks right away, those points are worth considering. I'm very excited that Lili is now offering invoicing. This is a critical feature for freelancers. However, right now, these invoices can only be paid via your bank account and routing info. That's a great way to get paid and avoid processing fees, but for convenience, I hope that they add credit and debit card payments in the future. Lastly, the Pro account increases your account limits, but it does not remove them. With a daily card purchase limit of $5,000, you might have to use a different account or card if you have any serious purchases. Also, if you use ACH transfer to pay yourself at another account, your daily limit is $2,000 and your monthly limit is $5,000. Something to keep in mind if that's important to you. All right, that takes care of the pros and cons, but here's the ultimate question. Is Lili's new Pro account worth it? Well, it really depends on what you want from a bank. Lili's fantastic and easy to use reporting, expense tracking, automatic tax tools, cashback debit card, and invoicing make it a very attractive option. With a few of the limitations, Lili is probably better for smaller freelancers who don't have big spending or transfer needs. If you do, then you might look elsewhere. Even still, the Lili basic account is completely free and the Pro account is only $4.95 a month. So if you're on the fence, it's definitely worth checking out and seeing if if it will work for you. The odds are good that with a bank this easy to use, you'll stick around. Want more money-related content? Subscribe to my channel. I put out 2 videos every single week. Also, follow me on Twitter. I post original content on there every day, and you'll probably enjoy my account if you like my channel here. And if you ever use Lili for yourself, or if you also have a cat named Lili, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your experience and or your cat. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.